Wow, I love traveling to other places.
Yo, let's do this.
Yo. We are waiting for the guys to get skating, ready to rumble on the Facebook, hating, betting cash like a mad hatter. All the Oilers through, Gary Bettman holds them back right after they flew. 1 or 2 days don't matter, more booze for your bladder. McDavid bought a knife, well the fans get fatter. The days of rest, you wonder why it's no longer 9 to 5. Trout. How the Panthers and Oilers can manage a 2,541-mile trip between cities. That's 37 miles longer than the previous longest series between Boston and Vancouver in 2011 at 2,504 miles. Well, you might say that's a lot of travel for those teams to take, but no, actually it's a lot of travel for Florida to take, because Edmonton, as you can see on this map, is way up there. Florida, on the other hand, well, look how many cities are on the East Coast. They can pretty much travel between playoff series in Donald Trump's golf cart. Trout. So this is the longest playoff trip ever. The farthest it could be, I think, is Vancouver versus Florida, which of course had never happened. It could have happened if only the Oilers didn't cheat. Let's take a look though at the weights. Now normally in playoff series, it's standard you have the 2-day break or 1 day in between. We'll just say 2-day break. If you play on Friday, then you're gonna play on Sunday. We started on June 8th, then we got June 10th, then we got the first 3-day break, game 3 after the first travel, Panthers and Oilers. That's when the plane was late, wasn't it? Then we have 15th, everything's right back on track. And now we have yesterday, that's the 18th. That's another 3-day gap. And guess what? The next game, I don't know. I think there might have been 1 or 2 series like this before. Have there ever been one with 3 out of 6 games have a 3-day break? I don't know. And guess what? There's another one after. 4. Okay, it may be the longest traveled series at all, but do you think the Oilers care? If anything, this ruins their momentum. And I think this is another strategy by Gary Bettman trying to help the Florida Panthers have the energy to cope with the traveling and beat the Edmonton Oilers. Honestly, I think they really should. I think they are the better team, but the Oilers have the McChosen one, and he's unstoppable. McDavid bought a knife. Let's take a look at some older playoff series and compare them, shall we? Edmonton versus Carolina, they're 2,075 miles. And as we can see, they played on June 5th, 7th, 10th. There's one. 12th, 14th, 17th, there's another one. They got 7 games and they only needed 2, but it is a little shorter. And this is 2006. I want to emphasize, in the older days, there used to be less weights. Let's see if we can prove that. Tampa Bay versus Calgary, that's pretty close. See, you can see Edmonton is north of Calgary in Alberta, and that's pretty much the only difference, other than that Tampa is a little closer on the west as 2,295 miles. Let's see, May 25th, 27th, 29th, 31. 4 games straight with no breaks. Only game 5 had the 3-day break. And then the rest were normal. Only 1. Anaheim versus Ottawa. That was only a 5-game series, so we don't get to put it to test properly. 2,355 miles. Game 3 on the first day of travel had an extra day break, but that's it. Anaheim versus New Jersey in 2003. 2,426 miles. 27th, 29th, 31st, 2nd, 5th. There's 1. That's it. 1. That seemed to be the way of things back then. New York Rangers versus Vancouver, 2,429 miles. They made a big deal about having that extra day break before Game 7. I remember that, but here's what I don't remember. Somehow the mind can play tricks on us. Because if we look carefully, 31st, 2nd, 4th, 7th, these games were both in Vancouver. They didn't even travel. Between Game 3 and 4, they gave them an extra day break. I mean, I think that's the kind of momentum killer that really hurts Vancouver. They need the travel. That's how they're used to playing, traveling lots and, you know, getting bad calls from the referee. 6-3 Canucks, and then before Game 7. So there were 2 breaks in this one. Trout.
That's what I don't get. I understand the whole jet lag. But really, what's the difference between sitting on the couch all night and sitting in an airplane for 5 or 6 hours?
Have you ever actually flown anywhere that's taken 5 or more hours? Because it's exhausting. The seats are tiny, you're cramped into a little space, you can't really move for the entire time, and it's loud as fuck. Not to mention you could be stuck next to a giant fat person or talker who feels the need to share his entire life story with the person he happens to be sitting next to.
Vancouver versus the Islanders in '82. Now this one's a little different. Let's take a look. There was only 4 games. However, you've got an extra day break between game 2 and between games 3 and 4. But wait a minute, Derek. I thought that you said in the old days things were different. Yeah, I guess maybe I was wrong about it. These happened in May. They were a month earlier. The seasons were 80 games, but what we had was first round, it looks like they're best of 5. So that's one of the reasons it went faster. What really makes up the time was, look at this. April 7th, 8th, game 1 and 2. They played back to back. No extra break, no break at all. They're playing on 2 games in 2 days. So a 2-day break to April 10th and another back to back. All the series seem to be like that. And they were like that in the second round too. The only time you get 2-day breaks are on travel. So essentially from April 15th to 25, you're playing 7 games. That's insane by today's stat. That would never even come close to happening. Los Angeles and the Rangers, 2,450 miles. That was only a 5-game series anyway. Montreal and Los Angeles in '93. Now that was only a 5-game series, 2,469 miles. Boston, Vancouver in 2011 was the furthest one, and to this day it's the second furthest. And if we look, we have games on June 1, June 4th, so there's a 3-day break right off the bat without even no extra travel. Then we got 6th, 8th, 10th, but then the 13th when they travel back to Boston for game 6, and then no extra break, travel to Vancouver for game 7. So there were only 2 3-day breaks in a 7-game series in 2011. Now let's look at some other ones, some smaller ones. Boston and St. Louis in a 6-game series, a 7 games in 2019, and it's only 1,071 miles. That's not even close. It's like not even half the distance of the Florida Panthers one. And we have May 27th to 29th. So yeah, so that's a 3-day break right there. Then you have June 3rd, but then June 6th, that's another one on game 5. That's 3 days. And then to June 9th, that's another one. And June 12th on game 7, that's 4. That's the same as the Oilers and not even half the travel. I don't know, Boston, they live in the East Coast. They basically just hitchhiked to New York to play the Rangers. 929 miles from Tampa to Dallas. This is the shortest one so far. This was a 6-game series. And look at this, September. And this is modern too. This isn't like the 80s or 90s. This is September 19th, 21, 23, 25, then 26. They don't even get a break that day. And then 28th. There are no extra breaks in one game. One day's even taken away. Why would that be? Well, the only thing that was different really about this one than any of the other ones we mentioned is they were playing in the bubble. Travel. The revenue, right? They're selling things. They're selling products. Betting. Oh my God, gambling. Isn't that such a big thing? The mafia. Like, Bettman was always friends with the mafia. Didn't he used to roll with Tony Soprano? Nashville, Pittsburgh. This is like 462 miles. 2017, look at this. May 29th, 31, then June 3rd. Got a 3-day break right there. Then there's another one to game 5. And another one on game 6. So you had 3 out of 6 games, and it's the shortest trip since, your last trip to the bathroom. Because I ate a lot of samosas last night, and I know all about that. Anyway, make sure to subscribe. Travel. You can't see my face on this because, I don't know. Not filming right now. My camera's got stolen by Gary Bettman.